Hello fellow makers and foam fanatics, welcome back. In today's episode I'm going to do a review on Rapid Fill and Fine Finish. These two products you can get available at TNT Cosplay Supply. They're acrylic based, non-toxic, and it's used for sealing foam. And what their claim is that not only can you seal your foam, you can sand it. It's more being sold as a sealant, but I'm going to take it to the test. I'm going to see if we can use it to fill in and hide seams. So if you guys are ready, let's get started. To try this stuff out, I went ahead and made a helmet over the weekend. This is my face shield pattern. I have my Rapid Fill. I have a cup of water. Now again, this is a mason jar. I used to use plastic cups, but I can't tell how many times I've tipped the cup over and just put water everywhere. So now, mason jar. And I got a wide brush with soft bristles, so I'm going to be able to work in the Rapid Fill. Now he has a video tutorial on how to use this stuff. As you can see, I'll crack this open. It's like a thick paste. And the one thing he talks about is that you want to kind of go all around and work it all in. And again, this stuff is non-toxic, so you don't have to worry about vapors or smells. Now, prior to applying this, I did go back in with a sanding stick and minimize these seams as much as I could with just sanding the foam. I always think that's the best bet to do too, is if you go do this, kind of minimize the work for yourself and do as much sanding as you can with just the foam first before applying this to save yourself the work. It's really well coated. Again, he says you can, if you have time, sit around and let this wait for an hour, but I have a hair dryer. I'm going to use a hair dryer, so I'm going to mute the microphone, so don't panic. There's our first coat, and it's dry. That's completely dry. But my seams are still really big, so I'm going to reapply. Here we go. This is going to be round 2 with the hair dryer. Wow, one thing to say is it dries really quick. That's always been the issues with some things is drying, but the drying time on this is really fast. So much that I'm actually confident I'm going to do one more third coat. We'll do a third coat, let that dry, and then we'll sand it. All right, I did my third coat. It's all dry. Now for the moment of truth. This is one thing that's really great about foam is that you being able to sand. And so that's exactly what we're going to do right now. Just do a little. Look at that. That's awesome. Now you guys can see the brush marks when you're sanding, so you can actually sand this all down. It's amazing. This is not clogging up the sandpaper at all. It just comes right off. All right, to make this sand a little bit quicker and easier, I'm going to make a sanding block. I got a couple of trouble spots. And again, if you have the patience, I guarantee if you put on like a 4th coat sanded, a 5th coat sanded, you would eventually get rid of these guys. We already did our brush coat. We know we worked into the pores with a brush. So I got a little bit of a metal spatula here. I'm going to take this guy. You guys can see right here. I'm going to ladle this in this right here, this thin spot. I'm just going to ladle it like that, like I would do with Quick Seal. All right, now that it's dry, let's go ahead and sand it, see how it looks. This looks great. I'm really happy with this. The spatula technique ended up working really well. So what we're going to do next, that's right, we have fine finish. And we're going to actually put that on top of this. And this one I'm going to apply a lot thinner. So good solid day dry in here. So now that it's completely dry, I was told that I could wet sand this. So I got me some 400 grit sandpaper. There we go. Still a simple hand towel just to soak up some of the water as I wet sand. All right, I went to rinse it off in the sink. As you can see, I got a little overzealous with my wet sanding, but this easily can be fixed. So you can wet sand. I would recommend getting it on pretty thick to wet sand. I put a lot on here, but I got a little overzealous on these seams. So I sanded right back down to the foam. But do not fret, I'm going to take some fine seal. Before I reapply this, I'm going to dry the foam out. Wow, I have to say, if you guys can look at this, this is crazy smooth. It's amazing. I'm so mad I sanded too much off. Anyway, this stuff is so great. It's an easy fix. So since I did that, I'm thinking this stuff is still a little bit popping through. I'm going to go ahead and get my rapid fill. I think I could have prevented it by not wet. If I just sanded it dry, I think it would have been fine. All right, went back, refilled it, sanded it, and I'm going to reapply the fine finish. All right, there it is. Wow, it dries fast in the sun. Ready to go. I wanted to show you guys really something quick. I took the rapid fill, much like I would do with quick seal, and I spatulated into these. There was a big seam back here, and I ladled it in there, and it just fills right in. It was great. There it is. It's all sanded. This is amazing smooth. Again, this is started off with a rapid fill, then fine finish. And even though I wet sanded too much of it, I was able to go back, patch it up, and seal it and sand it again. This is great, and it feels so smooth. Now, I'm going to use Creaturecast, and I'm going to coat the entire thing with Creaturecast, but I know for a fact now that my face shield is going to be super smooth, and this will all be sealed in with Creaturecast. Now, no need to do this because there's so much going on back here. I'm not too concerned about the seams. There's so much stuff going back here. But I just wanted to make sure that this looked like a machine, like this was metal. And it is going to be perfect. And once I get this coated, and on top of that, painting it will really bring it to life. There it is, sealed with Creaturecast. This is 3 coats. Look how smooth that is. That is so damn cool. Now, the back half is all coated as well. My next step is I'm going to take this outside and spray this with Rust-Oleum 2X bright orange. I'm going to go for this is kind of like my ideas as like a labor robot, like a construction robot. So we're going to go ahead and put a base coat of like construction orange on it. So let's go ahead and do that next. There's the helmet. Again, it's painted with the Rust-Oleum 2X. But the 2X, what I like about this stuff is that it's great for foam, but you've got to give it some time to dry. So I give it a whole day to dry. So our next step is I'm going to weather this with some acrylic. I got some blacks and some browns and some raw sienna. I'm going to mix and kind of make a blackish brown. I'm going to dirty this whole thing up with my dirty mix. Now I'm going to go ahead and take it like this. Yeah, this is looking good. So now I'm just going to kind of blot it. Just get rid of those brush marks with the brush. All right, now the acrylic is completely dry. The base coat of this Rust-Oleum stuff is enamel base, so it's really strong. So I'm going to take a paper towel and some denatured alcohol. And what that does allows me to come back in and just kind of wipe it off a little bit in spots. See, look at that. See, this is where it looks much more interesting. Gets a lot more detail back here. See? I like the orange. I thought a great color to add to this would be red. These are just copy paper. I just traced a circle and cut them out, and I'm going to kind of get an idea where I want to put them. Like on the side of this helmet to be a circle. I think it'd be great to have it just right here in the upper spray adhesive I have right here. This is the 3M General 45. I would guess that you could use 77, but I have 45 right now because that's all I had in the shop at the moment. I'm going to spray the paper very lightly. Now, when I mean lightly, I mean I'm just going to dust it because I don't want it to stick so much and leave a residue. I just want it to be enough to hold it in place. Marker. Something like that. Okay, all right. I got my airbrush. I got my Tamiya. This is flat red. Let's take a little bigger, more of a precaution. I just realized that, sooner I say this, I'm going to get red everywhere. So, looks good. What's a happy accident? If you look, the video is freaking on this color. The aging, you actually can see through the red. The red's going on, but still enough you can still see like the aging on the discoloration, which actually is a happy accident. And I like it because you can still kind of see the weathering underneath the red. This is the width I like. So let's do, because I'm just going to use this as a place model. I'll show you. Hold on. Now the stripe is kind of like my placement of where I want to make the mask and run it on the edge as my reference. There we go. Now that's how we got our stripe placed here. At the prop shop, we used to paint things so quickly, there was very little time to dry. So we always had to be extra careful. So one of the tricks we learned when demasking was always take your tape and go the same direction. So you're just removing the tape off like this. So you're not pulling so much up, you're pulling along like this. Pulling back on itself. And again, just go slow. Right, I have some vinyl lettering right here. I have some numbers. So we want to give the number to a robot. Let me see what I got in here. I got a, let's see. I think the 5 would be good, right? Now, laying vinyl on, a little trick I learned, you get an X-Acto blade, you put it, the vinyl on that, and you kind of float it to where you know it's centered. Right about. Now, I know what you guys are thinking, those 5s are really, really bright, and the answer is yes, they are. So, we go on top of the letters. There it is. I went ahead and painted everything. I ended up doing the tubes in silver. Painted these guys with a gray base, but then put in gold. Trying to make them look like little power outlets. Had a lot of fun. Again, you guys can see the little chrome silver to do some nicks and scratches. In the back here, I had some graphics, some stickers, and this red button, because if it's a big button, it's got to be red. And I found another number 5. I thought it was kind of cool. Put that on the top to match the matching 5s. The shiny finish you see right here is actually Kumbacher varnish. This stuff is amazing. Acrylic clear coat in a can, spray, goes on beautifully. This is matte. I had gloss. I used a gloss, the super shiny gloss. Now this is finished. The icing on the cake is that you have these eye holes here. I want to kind of cover them up. So I have some metal screen here. You guys can see it really close. It's a perforated. It's got nice little holes. So I put some tape on top. There's the metal mesh. I put tape on top of it, made my circle, and took some scissors, some metal, let me rephrase that, some metal dikes, and trimmed them to size. Since it's foam, I'm going to kind of just wedge it a little bit in here. It's a little dab. There it is. The helmet is all complete. I got my vents in. Again, everybody, if you have a little trouble finding this grading, this is, I got a metal supply place, but you can use metal screen. I have metal screen right here I strain my latex with, but you can get definitely finer, tighter mesh screens to use. As long as you can see through it and it blocks out and people can't see you, it'll be perfect. There it is. The robot is complete. The face shield was, of course, sealed with the rapid fill and then sanded and covered back in with fine finish. This stuff is remarkable. The best thing about this stuff, it's non-toxic. You can work in your house with this stuff. And when you put it on a layer up, it dries and it sands and it's flexible. It's acrylic based. And speaking of acrylic based, the clear glossy finish you see is the Kumbacher Clear I put on there as well. It's another great acrylic base to put on once everything is all finished. I am really happy with this helmet. It turned out great. And if you guys would like to try this stuff out, you can go to TNT Cosplay Supplies, click on the link below the video, and do some shopping. I'm an affiliate with TNT, so if you do shopping through that link, helps me keep making videos. And speaking of videos, this video is from my live stream, which I do every other week on Monday and Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on twitch.tv/EvilTedSmith. Go to my website, get on my mailing list, buy some patterns, shop through my Amazon links, helps me keep making videos. This was a blast, guys. Again, this product is great. If you're making a weapon or a gun or a sword, I think this stuff is what it's more designed for. I used it to fill in seams. It's not really designed for that. It's mostly for fine finishing. So when you make a foam blade, and you coat it, it always has that weird foam texture. No, what you seem to do, you can't get rid of that foam texture. Well, those days are over. You can definitely do it for now with rapid fill, fine finish. Do it, sand it, and you'll make that blade look perfect. Everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you back next time right here on Evil Ted Live. Beep, 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 beep.